Cause I can make it, got everything I'm asking for, but you stop making me feel. All right, so I'm about to get on up into it. I'm already late. Forgive me, you guys. It's been a busy night. I've been doing a lot of readings tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it. Tonight we're going to talk about protection. I'm going to go over a few different things that you can do for protection. I'm going to be doing a protection tarot spread and a guided meditation. I said I was going to pick a number readings. I might still do pick a number readings, but I might not. I might save pick a numbers for Friday because I'm going to be doing a whole sit-down conversation with y'all about sacral chakra energy and things that you can do to open, balance, and connect with your sacral chakra because I feel like it's needed. So I'm going to be talking about that on Friday. I might just incorporate number readings into that live instead of this one so that this live is not too long because this is going to be probably a little bit of a long live. Maybe not, but I feel like it's going to be long because once I get to talking, it's just going to go on. So first things first, let's just talk about, if you haven't watched the live from Monday, you need to go back and watch that because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this live. There's a lot of things that are coming up and we all need protection, okay? Not that we haven't needed it this whole time, but now is the time where your protection is really going to be your power. You need to make sure that you are doing what you can to institute protection over yourself, over your home, over your loved ones, over your business, etc. Okay? That being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Y'all know I'm a planetary astrological type person, so we're going to start with astrology. 3 planets that you can use for protection. I'm not saying these are the only ones, but these are the 3 that I normally would go to. Mars, Saturn, and Neptune. Why, Shawnee? Why would you use those 3? Before I go into that, let me just say that you can also use the sun for protection because the sun usually is in direct correlation with your ancestors, some of your spirit guides, and you can call on the power of the sun to protect you, to guide you, to strengthen you. You definitely can do that. You can also go charge in the sun and ground as a form of protection. Just make sure you give earth offering back to the earth, okay? So I will say that that's a simple way to kind of harness in protection. But let's talk about these other planets because they're a little more complicated, but also a little bit more specific and effective based on what you need protection for. If you need general protection, use the sun because you want just a blanket of general protection to cover you from any harm, you know, and usually your ancestors and spirit guides are good about doing that. Mars is an energy of, it's like the main planet that you would go to for defense. So it's like a war type of energy that you're dealing with when you get with Mars. So with Mars, you want to use Mars for protection. When you feel like somebody is your enemy or they're throwing negative things your way, when you're trying to get rid of someone or a certain situation out of your life, when you're trying to protect yourself from violence or harm, Mars is what you need to call on to harness in those types of protection. Anything that you feel like is a threat to you, as far as like other people or spell work or enemies, you want to use Mars for protection. Let me get my planetary magic book. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be right back. Because I want to tell y'all the incantation that you can use to call on Mars for protection. Stop making a big deal. All right, sorry about that. So I got my book. Let me just go to the page really quick. Hold on. Mars 44. This is my favorite planetary book. It has literally everything about the planets in here. From trees to herbs to incense to numbers, everything. Come around, where does it have? I don't want the correspondences. I want the incantations. If I can't find, here it is. It's at 163. And then 178. 163 and then 178. So let's see. Long as you know who you belong to. Okay, so obviously the color of Mars is red. So you want to work with red things, red candles, red roses, cinnamon. I know cinnamon is not red, but it does have like a red tint to it, and it works quickly, but it's like in a way that's not violent if you don't want to go that far yet. So those are like things that you can use. If as far as incense that are going to correlate with Mars, let me not misinform y'all. Y'all, this damn song is in my head. I need to play some music so I can get it out. Dragon's blood, peppermint, sweetwood, and galangal. Also, holly is a good incense to use when you're working with Mars as well. A lot of those are kind of hard to find. Sweetwood, it can be easier to find if you order it online. Dragon's blood is pretty common, and peppermint is pretty common. You can also use mustard seed when you work with Mars as well. Dandelion, nettle, arrowroot, high John Conqueror. These are all good herbs that you can use when calling on the power of Mars or working with Mars. The number for Mars is 5, so you always want to use 5 in your incantations or your spell work or whatever. You want to use 5 herbs. You want to use 5 candles if you can. You want to use like your incantations and petitions and things like that that you're going to say them 5 times. Definitely work with that pentagram type energy, the number 5. Play music that's associated with Mars too. Anything with heavy bagpipes in the background or a lot of trumpets is gonna be for Mars. You can also just play like any music that gives you like a raging, warring feeling. That will suffice. If you want to work with crystals, I would recommend bloodstone or ruby. Garnet is good, but bloodstone or ruby is definitely gonna be better and more consistent for you. As far as like things to use and gather to get ready to tap in with this energy. Now, as far as approaching the energy of Mars, you want to make sure that you are either working on a Tuesday or you're working in the planetary hour of Mars. That's going to strengthen the work that you do, okay? You want to visualize yourself kind of like passing through a red light and maintaining your awareness as you go through this red light, because you don't want to lose consciousness. You want to stay aware. So you say, I will pass through the veil of the shining light to accomplish the works of Gabora. Gabora is the number 5 when it comes to Kabbalistic numerology. And I always tell y'all the number 5 is struggle, triumph, chaos. Gabora represents the stern judgment of God, pretty much. And so that's what comes in and tests us. And so you'll say, I will pass through the veil of the shining light to accomplish the works of Gabora. With my highest mind and with all my being, I raise my inward gaze to the divine potency in the sphere of Mars, ever more clearly to know and to apprehend that indomitable glory. So you'll say that or write it down, whichever you choose. I would recommend that you say the name of Mars. It does have separate names. You can also say Gabora, you can say Elohim, you can say Sabal. It just depends on what you're into and what you want to say. And you want to continue focusing on this red light developing. And then you continue, all power, defender of justice and truth, thou noble inspirer of courage and endurance, of bold resolve, inculcator of loyalty, giver of the joy which springs from shared endeavor, thou divine patron of fruitful debate and of good order, thou who dost confirm the steadfast heart and the unfaltering hand, thou mighty adversary of the powers adverse, hail to thee. So you still want to continue your energy, stay in tune, and you want to repeat that, the first thing and the second thing, I would say at least 2 or 3 times. You want to continue repeating the name of Mars or calling on Mars-like energies, deities. It's up to you. Stay still within the red light that you're envisioning for a moment. And then finally you will say, may strength and will indeed be mine. That what I have resolved, I shall to the utmost do. May I seek and find within my heart good counsel before the event or adversary. Then my plan of action, decided, may I falter not. May the guardian powers of confidence and steadfastness be at all times with me, and in the ever-varying adventures of art magic, may they bring my efforts to high success. Fortitude and faithful endurance be mine, to rest opposing events and conditions, to good avail for advancement of the great work, or as I may deem the better course. Mine be the courage and the power to banish that which is adverse. Mine be ever the keen, sure blade of clear intent, and ever the glorious banner of aspiration, which is the star of my destiny. So may it be, in the name. And again, you will want to say Mars or Elohim, about Gabora. Just depends on what you're into and how you want to approach that. I use this incantation a lot when it comes to Mars when I do protection, because I was born on a Tuesday and I'm ruled by Mars energy. Because of that, I also have a lot of Scorpio and Capricorn in my chart. That means Saturn and Pluto, which can bring like a Mars type of energy as well. And so I use this a lot, and plus I'm always doing spiritual work, and I always feel the need to call on protection. So those are some incantations that you can use for Mars. Again, you want to use Mars when you're working against an enemy or you need fire, you're really trying to go to bat. Also, you can use it for confidence and decision making, because it really does kind of amplify the power of you to be able to make decisions or take concrete action. So that's pretty much Mars. Now let's move on to Saturn. Saturn you want to use for protection against yourself. What does that mean, Shani? Well, we need to protect ourselves from self-doubt, from lack of discipline, from lack of order, structure, and strategy. We need to protect ourselves from procrastination. We need to protect ourselves from depression and falling into systems and habits that are no longer serving us. So with that being said, you can use Saturn for these types of things. You can also use Saturn for protection when it comes to things like finding a new job or keeping your current job or protecting your business. Those are good uses when it comes to Saturn. So let's see. As far as colors go, Saturn, you can use blue. Sometimes green is good for Saturn, but I would recommend using blue or white when you're working with Saturn. You want to, you can work on a Saturday because that's the day that rules Saturn, or you can work at the planetary hour of Saturn. It's up to you. If you don't know what planetary hours are, I would recommend Googling them and downloading an app that allows you to keep track of the planetary hour. One that I like is called Time Nomad, but Time Nomad can be confusing, so I would recommend looking up another one, because Time Nomad can be confusing just simply because it has so much, information. Saturn can be associated with 6 or 3, but the divine power of 3 is really what Saturn ties into, so you can use 3, 6, or 9. I always go with 6, but it's up to you to go with whatever you feel. As far as herbs, white lilies, opium, poppy, benzoin, horsetail is good when you're working with Saturn. Myrrh, tamarind, patchouli are other. If you want to use crystals, I would recommend using black onyx. That's my favorite one to use when I'm working with Saturn. You can also use lapis lazuli in some cases, but I would not recommend using that if you're doing protection with Saturn. But you can use it in other works with Saturn. Diamond is also good for working with Saturnian energy, and obsidian. So those are crystals that you can use when you're working with the energy of Saturn to kind of push that energy of protection out. Now, as far as incantations, Saturn is a very dark energy, despite what a lot of people know or believe. It is associated with deities like Kali, like Net. If you don't know who these deities are, look them up. You will learn a lot, I promise you. I'm not one to really work a lot with deities. I just work directly with the planets. But if you are, then you can also work with deities that are associated with these planets and offer the deities what they like instead of what I am suggesting. It's totally up to you, you know. I always say that. Now, with Saturn, you want to get your incense, you want to do your cleanse, of course. And then when you're ready to say your incantation, I will pass through the veil of the shining light to accomplish the works of Binah. With my highest mind and with all my being, I will raise my inward gaze to the divine creativity in the sphere of Saturn, ever more clearly to know and apprehend that undying glory. Binah represents the number 3 in Kabbalistic numerology, and it represents the divine intelligence of God, okay? Just FYI, if y'all wonder what Binah is. You visualize this gray, bluish light, and you keep the awareness of the light throughout this incantation. And then you say, sublime and shadowed one, austere awakener of high aspiration and mystic hope. Thou art giver of the silent will to endure. Thou art part patron of the spirit's creativity and of the forces of preservation and of renewal. In thy keeping are alike the scythe of the reaper and the instruments of the builder in the stone. Thine too is the open scroll of the past, and thine the sealed scroll which holds the mysteries of the future. Hail to thee. You want to keep visualizing that bluish gray light. Continue to chant Saturn or the number 6 in your mind, in your head. And then you continue in this essential practice for as long as you will, filling your consciousness with the divine name and with the dove gray light, avoiding discursive thoughts. So stay focused, because Saturn is a disciplined energy and it wants focus, it wants discipline, it wants structure. So you got to give it that if you're going to come to it and ask for protection. And then lastly, you'll say, constant and unswerving be my progress in the holy mysteries. Though the furthest y'all, I cannot read or talk today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Though the further distance be veiled from my present vision, as in the pregnant darkness of an ancient shrine, still may I the more fervently aspire to that onward way. May my confidence endure and come to stronger growth beneath the holy face of that all-creative night. May I reap in understanding the harvest of past action and make a fresh sowing of seeds of my experience. May my magical will shine forth as a pure flame from that austere cradle, and in the immense silence of transcendent time, may I learn awareness of my own heart's true and inward voice. So may it be in the name, and then you'll call out Saturn or whatever deity it is that you are working with, okay? Again, Saturn is great for calling in protection from yourself, from habits that are no longer serving you, relationships and cycles, karmic cycles that are no longer serving you, habits of procrastination and self-sabotage. So this is when you'll want to use the energy of Saturn. So yeah, that's Mars and Saturn. When it comes to Neptune, I might have to make a separate video about Neptune, just simply because there's a lot that goes into working with the energy of Neptune, because it is such a water and spiritual energy. But as far as what do you use Neptune for when it comes to protection, when you want spiritual protection, psychic protection, that's when you want to go to Neptune. The number that's associated with Neptune is 9, and you can work with that energy. You can use blue, light blue, white, for colors. Obviously water you want to have on hand if you're going to be working with Neptune. You can use deep blue stones like sapphire as well. So yeah, that's for Neptune. And again, I will go a little bit deeper into Neptune on another video for y'all, because I've already made this almost 30 minutes and we still have a lot to cover, okay? So again, just to recap. By the way, if any of you are wondering what book I'm reading from, this is the book. This is one of my favorite books, period, when it comes to my spirituality. I'm always going back and referencing this book. and it gives me what I need every single time. So get the book if you're interested. If you're not someone who's interested in planetary magic, don't get the book. It is not an astrology book. It is not going to help you understand astrology at all. It is just going to help you understand each planetary body, what it represents, things that you can use to magically work with those energies. Okay, so if you're interested in that, get the book. If you're not interested in that, don't get the book. Okay, because it is not an astrology book. Just wanted to put that out there. Now, moving on from planets, the next thing I want to talk about is herbs, spiritual waters, incense, and candles. Okay, so I've already named some herbs that you can use to work with specific planets, but just generally speaking for protection, some herbs that are good: rue, hyssop, basil, bay leaf, rose. Salt is always good for protection. Dill is good. Thyme and rosemary are good. Cinnamon is a good one as well. White lilies are good for protection and peace. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. If I think of more, I will let y'all know. But those are just a handful that you can use, just generally speaking, for protection, okay? And that's in any given spell that you are going to do when it comes to protection. The main thing that you want to do is you want to pray over your herbs, you guys. You want to give offering to your herbs. You don't just want to be using herbs and calling on their powers with no prayer, no intention, no offering, just sprinkling the herbs everywhere. Your herbs are basically deities. They have their own spirits as well. And so you have to dedicate energy to them the same way that you do to your candles, the same way that you do to your petitions, the same way that you do in any other piece or aspect of your spell work. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. Now, when it comes to spiritual baths, I did put down 3 different bath mixes that you all can use. These are all going to promote protection, cleansing, purity, and if someone has put bad energy onto you, or if you just need general protection, you can use either of these. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can boil the herbs on the stove and then pour them over you, as in a traditional spiritual bath, or you can just run the water in the tub and put the herbs and stuff in the bath water like a lot of people do. It's totally up to you. It just depends on what your intentions are, you know, and how you want to do it. But nonetheless, you can mix rue, hyssop, basil, rose, and salt. Rue, hyssop, basil, rose, and salt. You can mix bay leaves, rosemary, rose, and salt. You can use white lilies, rosebuds, sage, lemon, lavender, and salt. I would recommend putting salt in any spiritual bath you do. You can use Epsom salt, white salt, pink salt. It doesn't matter what kind of salt you want to use. Just put some salt. Salt is great for banishing unwanted energies, keeping those energies out, and enforcing that extra layer of protection. So in any spiritual bath that you are going to take for cleansing and protection, you need to incorporate salt, okay? So those are a few baths that you can use, a few combinations. You can also use different spiritual waters. Florida water is not the only spiritual water that we have, okay? Yes, you can use Florida water. I actually make my own Florida water. It's called Ashe Spray. I'm getting ready to make a few more versions of that. So you know you can purchase that for me, of course, but if you don't want to purchase it for me, that's fine. You can purchase regular old Florida water. You can make your own Florida water. You can use bay rum. You can use Kananga water. You can use rose water. You can use orange blossom tonic. These are all great spiritual waters for cleansing, purification, warding off enemies and unwanted energies, as well as protection, okay? I did have somebody message me earlier asking me about blood magic and protection. I'm gonna just tell y'all this, and then I'm gonna leave it at that. I practice blood magic, I do, but I know what I'm doing. I've had the training for it, and I have the experience for it. If you don't know what you're doing, don't be practicing blood magic, because a lot of strength and power is added to your spell work when you use your blood, especially your own blood. And if you don't know what you're doing, or you're not doing the proper work behind it, or saying the proper incantations, or using the proper consistency, then you can set yourself back rather than strengthening what it is that you're trying to do. So if you're interested in blood magic and how it works and what you can do to protect yourself when it comes to blood magic, I might do another live about that, but I will just tell y'all for now, if you're not ready to do blood magic, which you'll know if you're ready, then just leave it alone, because it definitely can put you into a situation that you do not necessarily want to be in, okay? And I'll just leave that at that. As far as incense to use for protection, benzoin is great, frankincense is great, myrrh is great, of course sage incense are wonderful, lavender incense, dragon blood incense, rainwater incense are good for cleansing, not necessarily protection, but to add that extra layer of cleansing, which if you're gonna be doing protection work, you need to cleanse. Like, I feel like they go hand in hand, so make sure that y'all use them that way, hand in hand, okay? Flowers that you can keep around for protection, white lilies or roses are gonna be good. So yeah, as far as incense, baths, herbs, that's what you can use. Candles, it depends on what you're doing and what you're working with, like I said, but white, blue, and red are always good go-tos when it comes to doing protection work, okay? I did also note some psalms for you guys to use. I like to use psalms sometimes when I'm not working with the planets. I do work with my Bible, or I work directly with my ancestors, so Psalms come in handy for that. You can use Psalms 27 verse 1, you can use Psalms 4 verse 8, you can use Psalms 91, you can use Psalms 82 if you need financial protection, you can use Psalm 64, you can use Psalm 77 if you want protection against depression, procrastination, or lack of focus. So those are just a few. If y'all want more, or if y'all want me to send out a little list of Psalms, I will definitely do that. Just let me know after y'all watch this video. So yeah, generally speaking, that is pretty much that on that when it comes to protection and the tips and tricks that I wanted to give y'all. But I am going to do this little protection tarot spread, and then we'll get into this meditation, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna just take a little sip of my wine. A little sip. All right, questions in this tarot spread. What do I need to forgive and move on from? Also would love for you guys to journal on these. Again, what do I need to forgive and move on from? If you're in the Glow of Goddess here, I'm gonna send you this as your assignment this week for journaling, just FYI for y'all. What do I need to forgive and move on from? How can I better assert and display my armor and strength consistently? What lessons about boundaries and protection have I learned this year, and how can I better apply them? What is my current level? What is my current threat level or type? What do I need to do to stay safe and What do I need to stay safe and protected from? What should I be drawing down from the heavens or my spirit guides in order for them to assist me in protection? And then additional oracle guidance. Of course, I'm not gonna make y'all answer additional oracle guidance, but I might add another question in there for y'all to answer, just because I like to have 6. I don't know why, maybe it's Capricorn in me, or by Saturn, like it's just 6. 6, 6, 6. So those are our questions. If you need to watch this back to get the questions down, then do so. But of course, y'all know I will be emailing them to y'all probably right after I end this live. just want to say, y'all, I really love this little tea leaf deck. I don't use it all the time, but this deck be on point. Like, when I want to pull out the shit that's really hiding beneath the surface, this is like my go-to deck. The messages and symbols on these cards are so simple, but I'm telling y'all, like, it just pulls out the juice. Give me the juice. What I say? We have, I want to say about 7 days, maybe 8 days before our new moon. I mean, not new moon, full moon. Hold on, y'all. Let me actually look and see. No, I stay. I just want to say. Yeah, 7 days, because it's on the 20th. So let me see when that is. That's actually next Wednesday. So we have exactly 7 days. I am doing full moon boxes. The boxes will have sample sizes of my products, so they're not that expensive. But you do get a lot of stuff. You're going to get scrub, body scrub. You're going to get bath salt. You're going to get a full moon candle. You're going to get some Florida water and an incense and some oil, some full moon oil as well. So you'll have 6 ingredients. The price of the boxes are $66.66. They're going to be added to my website. Of course, the shipping will be added to the cost. And yeah, the products are pretty much made. My lazy ass just needs to take pictures of them and then add the thing to my website. So I'll probably do that tomorrow because I don't have as many bookings. I've been very blessed to be booked a lot this week and last week, and I need it because y'all know I'm paying for this wedding and stuff. So listen, if y'all need to book full moon readings, if y'all need full moon boxes, if y'all have been wanting to try out my products, now is the time to support your girl. Y'all do support me by paying y'all's fees every month, but if y'all want to add a little bit more, now is definitely the time, okay? I just wanted to throw that out there for y'all. But what I am going to do is upgrade the subscriptions. The price is not changing on them, you guys, so don't worry about that. I won't change the price on them until next year if I do. But I am upgrading the subscriptions. I'm going to be including a lot more in you guys' subscriptions. I'm even thinking about, for tier 2 and 3, doing a monthly product that I send out just for y'all to try. It just depends on cost, really, and what I decide to use. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to do a lot more stuff that's focused on teaching y'all how to really heal. I feel like every week I just come and tell y'all the astrology, and that helps keep you abreast as to what's going on and what you need to do. I come and do meditation, which is very healing, and I'll continue to do that. But I'm probably going to be incorporating meditations into more of our lives. Definitely the lunar retreats will continue, but I want to focus more on certain chakra work, certain rituals and things like that we can do. So on Wednesdays, I'll probably talk about those things, unless there's something collective going on that I feel like I need to talk about. And then on Fridays, it'll be still centered around Venus, so self-love, beauty, sacral chakra, heart chakra stuff. I might do a love, sex, pain here and there, but I've decided officially that I am moving love, sex, pain back to Instagram. So I will be on Instagram and TikTok every Friday with the love, sex, pain readings by element. And you guys will be getting something different on Fridays. That way I can be consistent, because the only reason why I haven't been here every Friday with y'all love, sex, pain is because I feel like me knowing y'all and what y'all have going on, it's kind of pointless for me to do. So that's that on that. But we do have our full moon, like I said, on the 20th. The full moon is in Aries, and it is next Wednesday. So, of course, next Wednesday we'll be having our retreat. And if I don't add it tonight, I will definitely add it tomorrow to the website and include it in y'all subscription so that the tickets will be free. What I might do is go up just a little bit on the first tier because I want to start including my lunar events in all of my tiers. But for now, it'll be the same until the new year, okay? Just FYI for you guys. Okay, now let's get into this spread now that we got all the cards out. So what do I need to forgive and move on from? Listen, you've been going through a lot of tests. You've had a lot of things change, a lot of things come up, and you need to forgive yourself for not being okay sometimes. You need to forgive yourself for not holding your composure sometimes. It's okay to not feel grounded all the time. It's okay to feel like you need to get out of a situation. It's okay to want to escape, but it's not okay to not do anything about your escape. It's not okay not to have a contingency plan or a strategy and just keep yourself distracted and avoiding the test. You need to walk into it. And so you need to forgive yourself for not doing the work that you do, not solidifying your root chakra, and stepping into that test with faith, with tenacity, with grace, okay? That's what you need to forgive yourself for and move on from. The test is over, so before you get another test on the same thing, if you didn't pass, then review what you've learned and just do better next time. But you gotta move on. You cannot dwell on it, okay? How can I better assert and display my armor and strength consistently? Don't be afraid for shit to get blown up and broken down for the purpose of revelation, okay? Sometimes things have to be blown up and broken down, and you need assistance. You need guidance. You need someone to come in and be patient with you. You need somebody to say, you know what, I got you. So you can better assert and display your armor and strength consistently by not being afraid to go through the storm for the purpose of truth, revelation, and new beginnings, but also asking for help when you need it. Okay? What lessons about boundaries and protection have you learned this year, and how can you better apply them? We got the Devil. So listen, you've learned that you are your own worst enemy, and a lot of what you need protection from comes from you not knowing or not being willing to set proper boundaries with yourself or with others, okay? And also being too focused on material things that you forget about the bigger picture. You forget about your spiritual growth. You forget about love and relationships, family. You're just so focused on the next thing that you can do to make you money or give you some type of fame or recognition that you're not seeing the bigger picture under the surface, because we're in Uranus and Taurus. Our values are our our view on possessions is changing, okay? So you can better apply those lessons by accepting and surrendering to that change, okay? And I hope this makes sense. Y'all not in here for me to clarify if it does or doesn't. So when y'all watch this back, please comment on the video. Please like the video. Y'all, I don't ask y'all to do that for my health. I ask y'all because I want to make sure that y'all are watching the lives. If y'all don't watch the lives, I'm not going to come do the lives. So when you watch the live, leave a like. It takes 2 seconds to click that thumbs up and leave a comment on what part was most helpful for you. Please, I like feedback. Maybe it's the Leo moon in me and I just want attention. I don't know. Either way, can y'all please just do that for me? Thank you. Moving along, what is my current threat level or type? Let's start with that. So first of all, death. A lot of things are shedding. There are going to be a lot of deaths that are happening because of the nature of Pluto in Capricorn, okay? Like actual deaths, people actually dying. But outside of death, there is also a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go and detachment that is happening, and that feels like a threat because it's testing your strength. You know, it's pushing you to reclaim your peace, to reassure your success. And that is, it's scary. You know, it makes you almost feel like you don't have your feet firmly on the ground, and you're just kind of hanging in the balance, hanging in the air, trying to wait for things to go back to quote unquote normal. I'm gonna tell y'all now, it's not going back to normal. Okay, it's not. It's just gonna be different. It'll be a new normal. Okay. What do you need to stay safe and protected from? You got the Ace of Pentacles. So you need to stay protected and safe from the past. Stop letting your past experiences, past karma, lessons that you did not learn, spiritual work that you have been unwilling to do, hinder you. Don't be afraid to plant new seeds. That's what you need to do to stay safe and protected. You need to be willing to plant new seeds. You need to be willing to meet new people. You need to be willing to make new connections. It is the age of Aquarius, baby. Your connections are your currency. I'll say that again. Your connections are your currency. Okay? What should you be drawing down from the heavens or your spirit guides in order for them to assist you in protection? You have strength, and that's as simple as it sounds. You need to be drawing down strength, power, courage, confidence, okay? Strength, power, courage, confidence. And not the fake kind where you tell people that you have this, but you really don't. The real kind where you feel it in your heart. And can't nobody really tell you shit because you already know who you are and what you're capable of. Period. Okay? And then for additional oracle guidance, we have root chakra. We have the number 5, test of faith. So become grounded again, because we're going to continue to be tested. What you tolerate, you encourage. And I always say this, but even from yourself, y'all. What you tolerate, you encourage. Even from yourself. Okay? We have these jump in oracle. Say yes to change, and don't be afraid to wait and pause. Reflect when things are not moving quickly. It might just not be time yet. Things may still be being woven, and that is okay. Okay, so I will leave you all with that. I'm going to do this meditation really quick, and then I'm going to roll on up out of here. This live is already 47 minutes. This meditation is probably going to be 20 minutes long, you guys. So I'm sorry, but this is a long live, but I would encourage you to watch the whole thing. And again, please like the video or leave a comment so that I can know that y'all were here. Okay. Let me pull up the meditation. All right. So let's go ahead and get some meditation music going and just relax. It is 11:11. Make a wish. It's raining. This is perfect. It feels cleansing for me to do this live right now while it's raining. As long as you know who you belong to, stop making a big deal out of the little things. Let's get carried away. Come around. All right. Make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Just take a slow, deep breath and let go of any tension as you feel yourself sinking into the surface you're resting on, becoming still, more comfortable and relaxed. Take another slow, deep breath and release your thoughts, letting them drift far away. And take another slow, deep breath and know that in this moment you are safe and all is well. Imagine you're walking in a wide open grassy field in the country, just before dawn on a crisp fall morning. It's quiet, and there's some early morning fog rising from the ground. As you walk along, you can feel the uneven ground beneath your feet. You're carrying a heavy backpack, and it's filled with all the worries that have been weighing on you lately. You could enjoy the morning so much more if you just put the backpack down. But you haven't felt ready to do that yet. So you continue walking on through the field. Soon, you begin to make out some kind of large, round shape coming up out of the fog a little way ahead. And as you come closer, you see that it's a hot air balloon, just finishing filling up. The basket is tied down with 4 ropes, staked into the ground on all sides. There's a burner above the basket, heating the balloon. And the balloon itself is made of colorful sections of material, arranged in strips, running top to bottom. It's quite a sight to behold. There's a brass plaque on the side of the basket, and as you take a closer look, you see that it has your name written on it. Printed right below your name are the words, "Let the healing begin." That sounds promising. Now you know where you can put your backpack full of worries. You'd better take a last look at them, just to make sure. Pull your heavy backpack off your shoulders, one strap at a time, and put it down. Take each worry out of the backpack, one at a time. What do worries look like? They could look like anything. Some people's look like globs of gray goop. Some look like spiky metal balls. Some people's look more like old, musty encyclopedia volumes. Take each worry out of your backpack. Take a look at it to be sure you know what it is. Become certain you'd like to let it go and toss it into the basket. Take a few moments to do this for each and every worry. Once you've gotten all the worries out of the backpack and tossed them into the basket below the balloon, go ahead and toss the backpack in there too. You won't be needing this now. The basket is filled up, and now the balloon is completely inflated and ready to go. It's pulling hard against the ropes and looks eager to take off. Look down to your right and you'll see a big knife in a leather sheath. Pick it up and pull off the sheath. The blade is gleaming stainless steel and very, very sharp. It's going to feel really good to cut those 4 ropes with this knife. Go to the first rope and cut it with the knife. It cuts like butter, and the balloon shakes a little. leaning a bit to one side. This is good. Go to the opposite side of the balloon and cut the rope there. Easy peasy. The balloon wobbles a bit. Cut the third rope, and the balloon leans towards the side of the last one, straining hard and ready to take off. You're ready to say bye-bye to your worries and bye-bye to the balloon. Cut the last rope, and the balloon begins to rise. As the balloon ascends, you begin to feel freer. And as it rises further, ties you may have still had to any worries become thinner and thinner. The balloon goes higher and higher, gets smaller and smaller, until you can barely see it. And now, it's gone. Nothing in the sky but a few puffy white clouds and a flock of geese way up there, flying in a V formation, migrating towards their winter home. You're free. Imagine everything ahead of you in your life working out perfectly. Visualize all your affairs going exactly the way you'd like them to go. Be happy. Look forward to your life. Put your mind in good order. Take a few moments to do this now. It's a little later in the morning now, and you walk on through the field to the other side. As you come to the edge of the field, you notice the scene has changed to a setting somewhere in your everyday life. One that is very positive and enjoyable for you. Put yourself as fully as possible into this positive, happy scene, and take a few moments to enjoy it. Breathe in the calamity. Breathe out any additional worries and tension that may be sitting in your spirit, on your heart, or in your mind. Take a moment to affirm that you are heavily protected, divinely guided, and highly favored. No worries, stress, burdens, or karmic cycles have the power to stagnate, paralyze, or weigh you down. It's almost time to bring this inner journey to a close. But first, take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself this gift. Gradually bring your awareness back to your physical surroundings. Take your time, and when you're ready, open your eyes and feel awake, alert, and refresh. Ashe, 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 you guys. I hope this was helpful for you. I definitely will do pick a numbers on Friday when I do the sacral chakra sit down. Make sure y'all comment on this video and let me know what part was most helpful for you. Let me know if you want me to elaborate on anything that I've said in this video, and like the video for me. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you for rooting for me. I really, really do appreciate it. All of you guys that are in my Moonchild tribe, not only subscribe to my Moonchild tribe, but you're consistent in the way you support me, whether it's liking videos and sharing videos, whether you book a personal guidance session with me every month, or whether you actually support me one-on-one as a friend. And I'm very grateful to all of you for that. I love you guys, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's night, and I will see you lovelies on Friday, probably around 7 p.m., okay?